to hit. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. It's caught to Charles. Finding space at the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score.
Hey guys, welcome back to another GOI show. Been a couple weeks now, but John and I both had time today, so we're back here talking a little playoff football. A couple games left in the wild card, and we got some news and notes for us this week. I think the first thing I've seen floating around the chat is how many seasons do we have left here? On average, it takes us about 6 weeks to finish up a season. So I know we at least have 2 left. That puts us to around end of June. And then we just got to see how the vibe is. Do we want to push for one more? Everybody want to break? Where are we at that point? We've already had 2 resets of the league due to EA issues. So I don't see us, posting up, switching teams or anything like that. I think everybody's excited. They're building where they're at. This is our second off season for a full season going in. So everybody's got an idea, a vision of where they're at. So we're just going to keep on buzzing through here for at least 2 seasons, and then we'll probably gauge interest after that. Some other topics floating around. I just want to remind everybody why we created GOI. We really wanted to create a league that was different. I know many of you guys are part of another league, other leagues, you play other leagues. I used to play several leagues. Now I'm just down to GOI, but we really started the league, or at least I wanted to be a part of the league because just of all the toxicity going on in other leagues run by folks that just weren't, doing a good job, complete, a-holes, cheating on the back end as commissions. And so we wanted to create a positive league that we could help support each other, be there for each other. There's just been some comments made recently, even as far as the speed of games being played, which is absolutely crazy to me because we fly through not only playoff games, but obviously all the weeks of the season we fly through. So I just would encourage everybody to remember that. And the game's crazy enough. You don't need to bash your fellow competitors trying to do his best as well. Several 10-team win teams are sitting at home. So it's just I want to make sure to remind everybody of that. John, news and notes from you.
So, yeah, and just a little bit of follow up to that is, just because a person doesn't play the way you play, I mean, we see that in the NFL, right? I mean, you have certain teams, that are defensive minded, they have great defensive coaches, and then you have teams like, the old St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf, they would just air it out all day long. So, just because a person doesn't play your way, that's actually the fun of it. The fun of it is trying to find a way to beat the other guys. So if you're all offense, then go be all offense and hope you don't run into a juggernaut defensive team because they're going to shut you down and then you're going to be in trouble. And conversely, if you're all defense, then there's a way to beat everybody. Every blitz leaves somebody open. Every team that has some sort of offensive strategy, there's a way to beat it. And you can see with our records, we have pretty competitive records. Well, a few of us don't, but most of us do. So, the key is to, don't get upset about it, but that's the fun of it. If you could just log in and beat everybody, you would be bored with this in 2 weeks. So this is the fun, So
yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it. There are so many people and different game styles, and I've even played people with the same playbook as I use, and they run the thing completely different than I find success with. So it's just amazing how many different points of view there are in this game, and that's the beauty of it. I know in my playoff bracket, I didn't have Denver beating the Patriots, but here we are. How about those Broncos with that win? That was huge. And then you got the Ravens beat up on who the Ravens play. Ravens took care of Bengals. That was wild. Jags won against the Browns. We still got a couple games left here of the NFC going on here. So let's talk about the first one here. We got the Minnesota Vikings, and John, he's at Detroit Lions and playing Kevin. What are your thoughts on that game, John?
Well, we were just talking, Kevin, actually, one of the things we were talking about is who's the top three in the league. And according to Neon and according to the power rankings, Kevin is in the top three. So Kevin's got up there. In fact, our most current top three is got the Jets. So of course, we expect Peter to be up there. And then the Panthers is number 2. So we expect Ray to be up there. But Kevin, I feel like I say this every time we do the show, but he just keeps getting sneakily better. So and kudos to him because he's in the top 3 right now. So he looks really strong. So I like him.
Yeah, I hate playing Kevin. It's always a close game. Somehow I think I usually can, something crazy happens and I can come out on top at the end, but it's always a shootout. Kevin's playing fantastic defense, playing offense like a machine. So he's going to be really tough. They're in the same division, so they've already played each other twice this season. So I have to go back and look at the scores, but I got to assume Kevin won. He's only lost 2 games all season. But yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin as well in that matchup. John's great, but Kevin's just an inch better to me. The other NFC game, the Giants won against Saints, Mo 38-21. And so that was a good win there for Giants. He's sneakily good as well. Just we don't know a lot about him. He came in last season, definitely won some games. I don't think he made the playoffs last season, so he's in this year. Won a game already, so that's huge. Because just getting to the playoffs in this league is absolutely insane. And the next game is Dallas and Seattle. What are your thoughts there?
Well, we got 2 guys that know each other really well. Friends inside and outside the league, I'd say, which is Connor and Kobe. So two of my favorite guys to get riled up if I can and give them a hard time. But on paper, Connor and the Cowboys they're 9th on the power rankings and Kobe is 12th. I think the last time they played, though, I think Kobe had Connor's number, and Connor's been kind of having a roller coaster year. He started off kind of strong, then he struggled a little bit there in the middle of the season, but he seems like he's coming back on, and kind of a little bit comically, but not really. I think Kobe's a better weeknight player. So Kobe still lives the life as single man, and on the weekends he has a lot of candles going at both ends. So it really just depends on how much of a party Kobe's had this weekend is going to probably be how competitive it gets. But I think Connor's got some extra motivation to take Kobe out. So I'm going to lean towards Connor on this one right now.
Yeah, apparently Kobe had a hot date last night, so that's why the game wasn't going to get scheduled last night. Hopefully that went all well, Mr. Kobe. And the benefit for this game is I believe they're going to try to play in the afternoon. So that might help a little bit, keep the distractions down for Kobe. And yeah, I'm going to go Connor as well, just because of the grudge last season. Kobe, if you remember, was the one to knock Connor out of the playoffs last season. So I got to imagine Connor's had that on his mind the whole season. So yeah, I'm going to give the slight edge to Connor as well. So if all that holds true, then Detroit would be hosting Detroit would be hosting the Giants.
Correct.
And Ray would be hosting Dallas. We already know the AFC matchups. It's going to be Denver at the Jets and the Jags at Baltimore. So that being the case, John, because we're going to fly through playoffs before our next show, let's finish up here. So let's see who we got. The Jets in Denver. Who you got there?
You got to go with Peter until somebody knocks him off the mountain. You just kind of got to go with Peter, and he's been a juggernaut. So, and the more he says he doesn't care, I think the more he does.
I agree. I agree completely. There's no, he's the king of the mountain right now. And yeah, until I see somebody knock him off, which the only team to do that so far this season was Lathan and the Patriots, and he's sitting at home watching this one. So I'm going to stick with Jets. They're going to go to the AFC Championship game. Not going to pick my own game. So, John, tell me Jags at Baltimore.
All right. Well, on paper, Baltimore's got a slight edge. He's sixth in power ranking, where you're seventh. He came in as the 2 seed. You came in as the 3 seed. I don't have it, but my gut tells me that historically speaking, you probably have like an 80 or 90% win percentage over Ryan. And Ryan has done exactly what you're not supposed to do in the playoffs, which is he's given everybody bulletin board material to beat the fire out of him. So he's put all this pressure on himself by, giving his opinion about other people's playing ability. If he doesn't beat you, then he has the egg on his face, and he knows that going into this game. So he's going to lose. He's going to lose. That's going to be what happens. I hate to tell you, Ryan, but go into it quiet next time. Let the scorer talk for you.
Yeah, I hope it goes like that. He got me earlier in the regular season. It was a bit of a shootout, so we just hope to keep it close and have a good game and see what happens at the end. So Carolina then would be hosting Dallas. So then that's another battle of buds. Connor versus Ray. What do you think there?
Aside from Peter, the person that scares me the most for Ray is going to be the Giants, because TK's new. He's been a juggernaut. He's been, taking some names and putting up some really good scores and some good games. And I know Ray's had a lot going on. So Ray probably knows TK the least of all the playoff teams. So this could be a little bit of a, it's not really a trap game when you're in playoffs, but this could be a game. I don't think Ray's going to lose, but if Ray's going to lose, this would be the game he's going to lose.
Well, actually, Ray would be hosting Dallas and Connor.
Well, that's easy. Then Ray wins.
Okay, Ray wins that one. So then you have Dallas at the Giants.
So same thing. It's like I said, TK to me is a little bit of the unknown. Like most of us in here, especially most of the guys left in the playoffs, have all played each other repeatedly. Where TK, most people don't have a lot of time with him. I know that the Giants and it's been a season, a little bit more than a season, but still, I think he's dangerous. So that's one where it's almost for me a little too close to call. I think Kevin's coming on strong, but TK is too.
Yeah, it's going to be two teams that know each other well. They actually went 1-1. So the Giants beat Dallas one time, and Dallas beat them earlier in the season. So two teams that know each other well. Golly. Connor, to me, always seems to have the upper edge on newer players here to start. So I'll take Dallas in that. I guess you said you're going to go to the Giants. So I think that should put us at Detroit and I'm sorry.
I think we messed that up. We might have to redo this part, because I think it ends up because Dallas is five.
Oh, you're right. Dallas would be playing Ray. So then I got to stick with Ray, because Ray seems to have just the one guy that has Connor's number consistently. So then we have the Giants and Detroit. Ooh,
that's right. Yeah, it's where TK is going to give Kevin all he can handle. Kevin probably has the edge, but like I said, if there's a guy that's going to surprise us in the rest of the playoffs, I think TK could be that guy.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick to see if they played in the regular season at all. It doesn't look like they did. So, oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, this is going to be a barn burner, I think. TK is good enough to do it. I think if anybody's going to do it, I think TK can overtake Kevin at this point. Is he going to do it? I'm going to go with the Lions. I just consistency for me, proven consistency, and 15-2. So I'm going to stick on the Lions winning against the Giants. Who did you pick?
I think the line's going to have the edge. I got to go with the numbers right now, but I wouldn't want to put a big bet on it.
No. All right. So then that would set us up the Lions, the number 2 team Lions at the Panthers for the NFC. AFC would be the Jags at the Jets for the AFC championship. Again, since I'm in it, what are your thoughts?
Again, until somebody takes Peter out, I mean, you could do it. I just think it would have to, and if there's somebody in our league that's going to put the time in to figure out how to do it, I think you could do it, because that's, you're probably one of our best strategy guys, where we have a lot of guys that learn certain plays against certain defenses. You really, you lab probably more than most. So you could win, but I think you got to lean towards the Jets until you do.
Yeah, I agree. I actually need Peter to make a bunch of mistakes for me to win. That's how I did it in the last playoff game that I beat him. So Peter, make a bunch of mistakes for me and we'll see what happens. As I'll lead him.
As I recently found out, just knock his punter out in the first series of the game and you'll win. Trust me. Just trust me on that one.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm more worried about that Breece Hall cat, man. He's a monster. All right, so then that puts Detroit Lions number 2 against number 1 Panthers. Ray.
The toughest part there is because these are guys that live down the street, and it really feels like Ray's in Kevin's head, kind of the same way he's in Kobe's head. So Ray could probably still make a couple mistakes. And Ray's one of those guys. We've seen it in Super Bowls where it goes to the bitter end. I mean, he is the Tom Brady of GOI. He can be down 14 points, 21 points in the second half of the game, and somehow everything always happens, and he ends up winning it by 3. So,
yeah, I've seen this show too many times. Ray is definitely in his head. In fact, they just played in week 16, and Detroit won 41-10. So I mean, we're not even talking about a close matchup here right now. So Kevin could do it, but I think he's praying for the same things I am, which is a bunch of mistakes from Ray, and then some things could happen, and boom, we'd have Detroit in the playoffs again, which probably wouldn't make Ray mad anyway. So. So, all right. So then it's Ray and Peter round 2 in the Super Bowl. What do you got there?
I mean, I think these guys are pretty evenly matched, and Peter got it last time, right?
Yep.
So based on the law of averages, I would say it would be Ray's turn. Not because I think next Peter can't win, but they're both really good. I think they're both in the top 2 in the league. So just because Peter got it last time, it's Ray's turn, but it can go either way.
I agree. Just the law of averages. If these guys play 10 games against each other, I think one wins 5 they both win 5. So being that Peter won last time, I'm going to guess Ray. I've never seen somebody hold Peter to, I don't even remember the score, 12-9 or something like that was the final. It was ridiculous. So Ray's obviously got it figured out on how to play defense. And I think Ray because Peter got it last time, Ray gets it this time. That was my philosophy with it as well. So then this would also be the first NFC team to win the Super Bowl this edition. AFC so far has swept it. So this will be interesting to see. Fun games to come for sure. And, we wish everybody good luck. John, you close this out today. What do you got for a closing note for us?
Well, one public service announcement is for those of you eliminated, if you want to post your contract buyouts, you can. I won't process them until immediately after the Super Bowl, but you can start putting them up there. That's fine. And not a problem. So you don't forget and miss it. Other than that, I think, just the way we started this off, we've had a lot of fun here. We know a lot. I know more about most of you guys than I know about a lot of the people that I work with. And it's fun that way, and we want to keep it that way. So absolutely. I mean, nobody gives anybody more of a hard time than I give Kobe and Connor, for starters, but it's in good fun. It doesn't get personal. And if I ever feel like I'm not making them laugh, then I'm going to quit it. So let's be competitive, but we've never really had a roster dump in our league. We've never had somebody try to hurt the league on the way out. And if we start letting people get personal with each other, then those things are going to happen. And then that degrades the quality of the league. So again, let's behave kind of like a band of brothers. We all want to beat each other, but just like brothers, you want to beat your brother when you go outside and pass football or do whatever you're going to do. But at the end of the day, nobody has his back more than you do. So let's kind of keep it in that spirit. Other than that, good luck to the teams in the playoffs. And from down here in Miami, we are looking forward to the postseason or the off season. So next time we get to click a button in the game. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Trying to find the button.